For today, we will be talking about Mathematics 10, Quarter 1, Week 8. Competency: solve problems involving polynomials and polynomial equations. Objectives: identify the steps in solving word problems on polynomial equations. Use appropriate strategies in solving word problems. And solve word problems on polynomial equations. And topic to be discussed: word problems on polynomial equations. Now for this topic, look at this content map. The content map for this discussion is we have the word problems on polynomials. Now, to solve word problems, we first understand the problem. Next, we plan. After that, we solve. And lastly, we interpret. Now, to easily remember these steps, let's use this acronym. We have the UP-C. So, U stands for understand. P stands for plan. S stands for solve. And I stands for interpret. Understand comprises that you have read the problem. All ideas should be understood. And most importantly, you will draw a diagram. Next step is plan. So under plan, you will give the given, state a strategy, or the formula. Next, you will solve. So under solve, you will substitute the given, to the strategy or formula. And then solve. After solving, after getting the answer, you will interpret, which is the last step. Now, you will state the answer in a sentence. That's the steps in solving word problems on polynomials. First, understand, plan, solve, and then interpret. Now, let's have this example number 1. We have the diagonal of a rectangle is 8 meters longer than its shorter side. If the area of a rectangle is 60 square meters, find its dimensions. So, first, let's write the steps. We have understand, because we are already done reading and all ideas are understood already, we will draw the diagram. So we have a rectangle and the diagonal is 8 meters longer than its shorter side. So this is the diagonal. Assuming that this is the shorter side, let's represent that one as x, and the longer side is y. So the diagonal is 8 meters longer than its shorter size. So diagonal is 8 plus x plus 8. So this is the diagram of our problem. Now we have plan. Now, under plan, you will give the given. So we have x as our width and y as our length. So width is the shorter side of the rectangle, while length is the longer side. Next, we have x plus 8. X plus 8 is the diagonal. So we have x plus 8 as the diagonal. Now, to solve for the value of this one, as we can see that this shape, when a rectangle is being divided this way, then we have a triangle in this part. So if we have this triangle, a right triangle, then we can use Pythagorean theorem. So Pythagorean theorem states that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. A and b are the sides of the triangle, while c is the hypotenuse. So c here is the diagonal, b here is either y or x, and a here is either y or x. So we will substitute a for now as x and b as y. And our c will be x plus 8. Now that we have our formula, let's solve this one. So first, write our formula. We have x squared plus y squared is equal to x plus 8 squared. Now, let's solve this one. So, x squared for the middle term, you will just multiply x and 8. That's 8x times 2. That's 16. X. Again, how did I get 16? To get the middle term, we multiply the first term and the last term. X times 8 is 8x. Now, the result should be multiplied to 2. So, 8x times 2 is 16x. It is always, the result will always be multiplied to 2. So, 8x times 2 is 16x. Now, for the last term, we have 8 squared, and that is 64. Next, we will move all the terms to the right side, leaving y squared on the left side. So, we have y squared is equal to x squared plus 16x plus 64, and x squared will be transposed here using addition property of equality, and that becomes a negative x squared. Now, we have x squared minus x squared, that will be 0. So, we have 16x and 64. So, we will use this one in our next formula. As we all know, to get the area of a rectangle, you need to use this formula. We have length times width. So here, our length is y. So we have y. And our width here is x. Next, substitute our area that was told earlier. So by the way, in our plan, we forgot to write the area, which is 60 meters squared. So area of the rectangle is 60 square meters. So we have area as 60 and y times x. Next, let's solve for y. So do multiplication property of equality, multiply it with the reciprocal of x, and we have 1 over x. And what we did on the right side, we will also do that one on the left side. So x divided by x is 1. So what is left here is equal to y. And on the right left side, we have 60 over x. Next, our y here will be substituted with 60 over x. So from here, we will continue that one here. So we have 60 over y over x squared. Again, our y squared is now 60 over x. Why? Because we have solved that y is equal to 60 over x. So our y here will be 60 over x. So 60 over x squared, that is here, 60 over x squared, is equal to 16x, copy this one, plus 64. Next, we will do cross multiplication. Before that one, let's operate the operation here. So distribute this one. We have 60 squared over x squared is equal to, copy, 16x plus 64. Do cross multiplication. As we all know, this one is over 1. So cross multiplication. We have this one as x squared times 16x plus 64. Again, how did I get this one? So we cross multiply. Numerator times denominator, denominator times numerator. So denominator, which is x squared, multiplied to 16x plus 64 is equal to, copy equal sign on the middle part. We have 60 squared. 60 squared times 1. You can use cross multiplication when the middle sign is an equality or equality, inequality or equality. So here, let's continue. Distribute this one. We have that one as x squared times 16x, that is 16x cubed, plus x squared times 64, that is 64x squared. And 60 squared times 1 is equal to 3,600. Now here, we will write this one first in general term. So 16x squared plus 16x cubed plus 64x squared. Then transpose this one using addition property of equality, and that becomes negative 3,600, that is equal to 0. Now, we will factor out this trinomial. So we have that one as The common factor of these three terms is 16. So we have 16. Then what is left on this 16x cubed is x cubed. So that is written inside. Plus 64 divided by 16 is 4. So what is left of 64 is now 4. So to check, 16 times 4 is 64. And then write x squared minus 3,600 divided by 16, that is equal to 225. To recheck, 225 times 16 is 3,600. Close that one, and that is equal to 0. Now, let's cancel out 16. So let's do multiplication property of equality. Multiply it with its reciprocal. What we did on the left side should also be done on the right side. So cancel out, that's equal to 1 already. And rewrite x cubed plus 4x squared minus 225 is equal to 0 divided by 16 is equal to 0. Next. Here, we will now use synthetic division. So, please review the video for week 6 and week 7 in solving this one. Because we have a degree that is higher than 2, we will use this method. Get the factors of p. P is the last term or the constant, and q is the coefficient of the first term. So the factors of negative 225, so the factors of negative 225 are the following. Negative 225 can be factored 5 times 45, and 45 can be factored to 9 times 5. 9 can be factored to 3 times 3. And 3 and all those factors can be factored to itself and 1. So we have positive and negative 1, positive and negative 3, positive and negative 5, and we have positive and negative 9. We can also have positive and negative 45. So here, what are the factors of 1? We have positive and negative 1. So now, from these factors, we will choose, or we will do trial and error. So we will use this one as our divisors to divide this trinomial. So first, I'll choose positive 5. So I choose positive 5 because somehow positive 5 might be the factor that can make this equation equal to 0. So write the coefficients. We have 1. Numerical coefficient of the trinomial, we have 1. Next, 4. And we don't have the coefficient for x. So as you can see, x cubed, x squared, and there's no x. So we will write that one as 0. And for the constant, we have negative 225. Next, we will do the synthetic division. So let me first move this one higher. Okay. So for the synthetic division, one will be, the first step is bring down the first number. 1. 1, bring down. 5 times 1 is 5. And write that one on the next, below the next number. Next, 4 plus 5 is 9. Next, 5 times 9 is 45. 0 plus 45 is 45. And 5 times 45 is equal to positive 2 to 5. Negative 2 to 5 plus 2 to 5 is equal to 0. Because the remainder is 0, it means that 5 is correct. 5 is a factor of this polynomial equation. And this one is the other factor. We have, because it is 1, it means we'll just have x squared. Why is it x squared? From the trinomial that we have solved, we have x cubed. Minus 1 of cube is 2. So we will have x squared. Next, 9. So positive 9. That's x. And then the last number will be the constant, plus 45. So this one has no factors. If we will do quadratic equation, the result is a non-real. So the roots will be non-real numbers. So the only real factor or root is 5. So the value of our x will be 5. So the value of x is 5. And x is width. So it means, let's interpret our problem. So therefore width is 5 meters and length is y is the length. And earlier we have solved that y is equal to 60 divided by x. 60 divided by 5, that is equal to 12. Again, y is equal to 60 divided by 5. And that is equal to 12. So y is equal to 12. 12 meters. Now for the next example, we have example number 2. The volume of a rectangular box is 2x cubed minus 9x squared minus 19x plus 6 cubic centimeters. And its height is x minus 6 centimeters. Find the area of the box base. So, first, we will have the diagram. Understand. So, we have a rectangular box. Assuming that this is the rectangular box. Next, let's have some label. And it was stated that the height, so this one is the side for the height, that's x minus 6. And also, the volume is equal to 2x cubed minus 9x squared minus 19x plus 6 cubic centimeters, and we will just write that one on the next step, and that is plan. We will write all the given. So we have the volume, which is 2x cubed minus 9x squared minus 19x plus 6 centimeters cube. And the height is equal to x minus 6 centimeters. So, there. Next, what is the formula or the formulas? So, for the volume, the formula is length times width times height. And for the area of a rectangle, we have length times width. So as you can see, length times width is part of volume's formula. So we can substitute LW as A. So volume will now be equal to the area of the base times height. And to solve for area, we will equate this one with, or we will divide this one with height. And what's left is area. So area now can be solved using volume divided by height. Next step is solve. So under solve, we will substitute our given to this formula. Area is equal to the volume, 2x cubed minus 9x squared minus 19x plus 6 all over the height, which is x minus 6. Next, to divide polynomials, we can use long division or we can use synthetic division. For me, I'll use synthetic division. So the denominator is the divisor, and we will equate that one with 0. So we have x minus 6 is equal to 0, and that becomes transpose negative 6 using addition property of equality, and that becomes 6. So negative 6 transpose to the other side. So nilabang siya sa equal sign, and that becomes positive. So positive 6. Write 6 here. Next, write the numerical coefficients of the numerator. We have 2. Next is negative 9. Next is negative 19. Followed by the constant, which is 6. Again, to do synthetic division, first bring down the first number, which is 2. Multiply that one with the divisor. 2 times 6 is 12. Negative 9 plus 12 is 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Negative 19 plus 18 is negative 1. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. 6 plus negative 6 is 0. It means that the result is equal to the area. So first, let's rewrite this one with its variables. So 2x, and that's not cube already, that becomes squared. Why? Because 3 minus 1 is 2. Next, we have plus 3 that's paired with x, and then the constant, which is negative 1. So area is equal to 2x squared plus 3x minus 1. So interpret, which is the last step. Therefore, the area of the box base is 2x squared plus 3x minus 1 centimeters squared. So, square centimeters. So when we talk about area, the unit should be squared. And if we talk about volume, the unit should be cube. That's all for today. I hope you've learned something, and see you on my next video tutorial. Bye-bye!